Hi all, another video and another morning. I've just been and collected a regular customer's MGTF. You've seen it before. I've done the clutch slave cylinder and stuff, and they have a little problem with it. I'll show you. Well, other than the headlining has sunk, but that's the hard top's normally only on in the winter anyway, and they don't often use it in the winter. Just when the summer comes, they take the hard top off, put the roof, the cabriolet roof up. But anyway, I'll show you why I've got it. We have hot and cold. We have different functions here which work, but we don't have a fan speed selector. So I've got to have the dash pulled apart. Well, this cover that goes all the way around just clips out. We'll have to have the stereo out, and we'll have a look and see whether that's how that's connected, whether it's snapped and broken and we need to replace it, or whether it's something we can fix. Something else I've noticed, probably just about see, the carpet has moved and it's sort of stopping the brake pedal, sorry, accelerator pedal. So it's really hard, well, not hard, you know what I mean, it's not as it should be to put the throttle pedal down. So we need to try and move the carpet, and then that's probably about it. I've noticed the tracking's out, so we'll see whether they want us to get the tracking done. It doesn't drive funny, so I wonder whether it's just a case of we'll just rotate the steering wheel one spline. But first job is to try and find out what this is. Right, centre console's out, pop the radio out, then the rest of the console is just on clips, so you can just pull it out carefully. Obviously unplugged the switches. I've took a photograph of them, but they're pretty self-explanatory, just to make sure. Next is to pop these off. Oh, we might have found our problem. I might not even have to. What I'll do is stick some tape around that and glue that together just to try it and see whether this actually turns. I think we've found it, and we didn't even have to take this out. Never mind. All right, so I've popped another one of them out. Let's see. There you go, that's all it was. So I can actually now just put the whole centre console back in and go and find one of them and see if I've got one in stock. Oh, could have saved myself 5 minutes. Right, a little update on the Smart. I've just disconnected the earth off the battery by taking the boot liner out. And we are checking the connections on the SAM unit. Now on the right hand drive cars, it is up under here, beside the steering column. It's that black box there that contains the relays, the fuses, all the connectors, etc. All I'm going to do is pull it down and just wiggle all the connectors around, take them off, plug them back in, just to make sure there's no corrosion on there and it's not wet, because apparently these suffer from water ingestion. So I don't know if I'll be able to film anything, but what I'll do, once I've popped it down, I'll show you the back end of it if I can. Right, I've undone it. There's not a lot of flex in the cable, but basically that's enough to get my hand in there, just pull the connectors out and plug them all back in individually, just to make sure there's nothing loose. Obviously I can't lie under here, do all that and film it as well, so you'll just have to trust me. Right, with that all checked, let's try and get in here now. With that all checked, let's have a look. Now it has been out before. All the connections are clean and have like a greasy type thing on them to protect them from water ingress, so it's obviously been out before. I'm guessing maybe someone had the same idea as me before, potentially, but let's make sure it starts. Oh. Let's turn her off before we get told off. Oh, immobiliser. Yeah, no, still get on when it's cold, look. Okay, well, we'll have to do some more miles in it and see whether miles mean smiles, but yeah, still the same. I guarantee when I get a mile down the road that'll stop, but we've done what we can. We'll have to tell a potential new owner that it does do this. Oh well, we tried. Right, well, the new alloy ones have turned up, so hopefully they'll just be a direct fit. He says. There we go. Yep, they work. Oh, I'll get the other two fitted on, and then that's another jobbed. Well, the MG's on the trailer. I've just picked it up from the tracking. I don't know what any of this means, but apparently it's better than it was before, but not by much. Didn't need a great amount. It was just the fact the steering wheel was out. So, yeah, it's done. So now I've just got to put the finish putting the heater knobs on, because one of them wouldn't come off by hand. Just got to pop it off with a tool, and then yeah, we can take it back. Right, so the customer's Merc is back in. He got a couple of advisories on the MOT. I'll show you what they were and what we're going to do about them. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but we've been advised some play on the MOT, so I'm going to change them. I think you can just about see that. So, got a nice new one here from Mercedes themselves, so I'm going to get that changed. Another advisory was that ball joint. I have got, again, another genuine Merc one. Obviously got to pop the wheel off, and that's got to be pushed out. Now I have bought a tool, hang on, to take it off in situ, but I presume I have got to remove this arm first, and then take this ball joint, or split this ball joint from this arm, so I can pull the strut out to get the tool on. So that is what I'm going to attempt now. Right, the tool is in place, the ball joints are off. It's obviously pushing at the bottom, and it's cupping over the top of the ball joint, and I can feel the top of it coming through the hole at the top. So now I've just got to wind that up. I might chuck some grease on there just to help it along, and then we'll try and squeeze that out. There it is, out. Right, so refitting the new one is reversal of the other one with a couple of bits swapped round. So try and hold this camera. This one before was the other way up and pushing against that to allow the ball joint to come through the middle, but obviously now we're the other way round. We need the smaller one that pushes on the ball joint and this underneath to clamp it all together. So I'll try and do that now if I can on camera. Right, we'll get them torques up and then we'll move on to the track rod end. There we go, new track rod end is on. You probably know how to do these already. Just undo the lock nut and then count how many turns to bring this off, and then do the same, putting it back on. Job done. So now I can put the wheels on and get it gone. Well, nothing exciting today on this. It's the other half's Freelander. Went in for an MOT this morning, passed no problem, couple of advisories. Main one being pads are low, and they are sounding a little bit grindy, so they're probably quite low. So I'm just going to change the pads. We have got a little knocking noise. It didn't really show anything up on the MOT other than anti-roll bar bushes are perished. So I'm guessing that's probably where the knocking is, but the MOT tester couldn't find a knock. But his obviously is on a 4-poster, so with the wheels free on a 2-poster, I might find them. So we'll investigate as we go. Right, so obviously I've got the wheel off, and the caliper bolts are 12mm, so I've undone them, pulled this out, pulled one of the pads out, and then you can get a pry bar in between the caliper and the disc and pull the piston over. A lot of people use a wind back tool. Obviously, if the calipers need winding back, that's what you have to use, but a bar on that does exactly the same job. And you can see the pads definitely need changing. So I'll just copper grease the back, stick them back in, do it up, job done. Right, this might be the last video from me on this. I'm taking it to show a chap who's very interested. So I'm hopefully not going to bring it home. It's been emotional. Right, well, remember the pain in the backside galvanised chassis swap I did on the D2? Well, it's back. Poor Paul was driving down the motorway the other day and pop, heater matrix went bang. Thankfully he got recovered, and the recovery man managed to bridge the heater matrix pipe so we could continue. Just meant it was very cold inside. So this morning we have managed to get the old matrix out. Officially it's dash out job, and sometimes it has to be, but this one has managed to allow me to get the matrix out without removing the dash. What I've had to do though is obviously take out the panel, the strengthening bar that sits behind here, not the main one, but the one that just holds the dashboard. And then you are able to just, the bracket that holds the dash here. You'll manage to just pull this back enough to slide the matrix out of that hole. So I've filled that water off the bench, off the car on the bench, and it is seeping around the joint. Obviously that's just with water sat in it. Under pressure it might come out quite a bit more, but we've got another one on order. Quite expensive, but there are a couple of other places we've tried have said they're obsolete, so hopefully it will turn up and I can put it back in. So I'll show you when it gets here.